Hey there, welcome! In this video I'm going to present 5 interesting upcoming games with a little bonus game on top. Some may be familiar to you, others might be completely unknown. Anyway, why not stick around? Let me know if any of those games piqued your interest in the comments below. So what is the game about, you wonder? Did you ever ask yourself, what if the Unity engine short movies called Adam became a video game? Well, Marcus Leto, co-creator of Halo, apparently did exactly that and then came up with the concept for Disintegration. It is developed by V1 Interactive and published by Private Division, who were also responsible for releasing Outer Worlds. Disintegration is a sci-fi first-person shooter, real-time strategy hybrid. Try to say that 3 times in a row. The player character uses a so-called graph cycle, hovering over the battlefield and commanding ground units with, as the official site states, individual abilities, whatever those are. The game will feature a story campaign set in the near future of Earth. Humanity's survival will depend upon integration, fusing the human brain with a robotic body. You will play the story as Romer, an integrated human who has been outlawed by the Rayon, the major antagonist faction of the game, which force humanity to undergo integration. Romer and his rebel sympathizers, Star Wars reference here, work toward destroying the Rayon and becoming human once again. In addition to a story campaign, the game is also going to feature multiplayer with 3 different modes, consisting of zone control, where you fight over zones to capture, with the added caveat that only your ground units can capture and hold the zones, whereas you as the player have to command and defend them via the use of your trusty graph cycle. Another mode is going to be called Collector. 2 teams pitted against each other try to score as many points possible by defeating their opponents and picking up the brain cans they drop upon defeat. Think about the dog tags in FPS games. You can deny your enemy brain cans by picking up those of your fallen team members. Retrieval has 2 teams. Attackers and defenders retrieve and deliver cores to launch sites. The attackers are tasked with delivering cores spawning on the map to the launch sites, where the defenders are tasked with, you guessed it, defending those points and keeping the attackers from completing their objective. The multiplayer will feature a variety of maps and might even add some additional modes to keep the game from getting stale, which is more of a hope on my part and nothing that has been confirmed yet. Disintegration is releasing on June 16 on PC and all major consoles. Well, this one is going to be interesting. Developed by one person, namely Jason Oda, and published by TinyBuild, an indie game publisher, Waking promises to be one hell of a trip into your innermost self, that is. Waking claims to be a third-person action game combined with guided meditation, and it most definitely delivers on its last claim. You start the game unconsciously lying in a hospital bed with tubes sticking out of your throat. Yes, your character is in a coma. The game takes place in your own head, well, your character's head. It gets complicated. There's going to be fourth wall breaking stuff. You are tasked to fight against your own death, and memories and people from your past are going to assist you in your struggle. The game claims to have procedurally generated environments. How or if this is going to affect your game experience or subsequent playthroughs is unknown to me. There's even a playable demo available on itch.io. This way you can test out the game yourself. Definitely don't expect a AAA game. The combat for sure is clunky, but that is not what the game is about. Although, now that I think about it, you do fight a lot. Well, you can meditate your pent-up rage over clunky combat away in one of the many meditation sequences. All I can say, the game seems to be different in a good way and might probably be an interesting experience. Waking is releasing on June 18 on PC and Xbox One. Wait, is that a new Zelda game, you're going to wonder? Windbound sure does have the looks, and some gameplay elements do seem familiar to those acquainted with Breath of the Wild, but I can assure you Windbound is its own little game. Windbound is developed by Five Live Studios and Deep Silver. You follow Kara, the young heroine of this game, along on her odyssey to reunite with her tribe. The game is set in a Bronze Age level technology world with lots of fantastical settings and mystical elements. The game's website aptly describes the game with 4 key words: uncover, explore, live, and build. You embark on a personal journey and uncover the history of the idyllic Forbidden Islands, the main stage of the game, and reveal their mysteries. Oh, and revelations also await. Furthermore, you explore different islands, each with their own wildlife, landscapes, and challenges. Live by scavenging the land for resources to craft tools and weapons to hunt wildlife and upgrade your boat with. Yes, your most trusty companion in this game is going to be your boat. With its help, you are going to sail between the different islands once their resources get scarce, and upgrading it, the building aspect of the game, lets you brave rough seas and reach previously inaccessible islands. You can also upgrade Kara's equipment and customize her looks. She is wearing an amulet which seems to play a major role in character progression. Upgrading your amulet is accomplished by scaling huge tower-like structures in the game world. Insert Zelda reference here. Oh, and you can also jump off said towers and use a hang glider to slow your fall. Another Zelda reference. Hope I don't get DMCA'd by Nintendo. I still stand by my claim that Windbound is going to be its own game, despite me pointing out all those seeming similarities with Breath of the Wild. Anyway, be prepared for Windbound to hit the shelves on August 28 on PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch. Oh boy, do I have a good one coming up next. Yes, I'm talking about Sucker Punch's Ghost of Tsushima, Samurai Simulator. The game is heavily inspired by old samurai movies. Yes, there's even an option that lets you play the game in black and white. Oh, and the game also draws heavily from historical events during the Mongol invasion of Japan in the 13th century. As a smart individual, you might have deduced that the game takes place in 13th century feudal Japan during the Mongol invasion. Tsushima is ransacked by the Horde. No, not that Horde. And Jin Sakai, the game's protagonist, is left as the last surviving member of his samurai clan. You must abandon all tradition and take back the island as the ghost. Well, since your masters are probably dead, you're a Ronin anyway, so go for it, Jin. The game's combat is promised to be impactful and almost Souls-like. Well, that's at least what game director Nate Fox had to say during an interview. The game features a beautifully crafted open world with rolling grassy hills, mysterious forests, and the wild shores of Japan's coastline. Yes, and there's even going to be an engaging story in addition to the previously mentioned Mongol invasion, where you are introduced to, as the game's website claims, strong characters and difficult choices of who to ally with. Expect Ghost of Tsushima to be released on July 17 for PlayStation 4 exclusively. I mean, what is there to say? It seems that Cyberpunk 2077 is finally here. Well, we have got to wait till September 17 still, but at least the game releases this year. It has been a long wait, but probably one worth doing the waiting for. Cyberpunk 2077 is developed by everyone's favorite Polish RPG developer / publisher, CD Projekt. The game itself is an adaptation of the eponymous Cyberpunk role-playing game conceived by Mike Pondsmith, who, unlike Andrzej Sapkowski, was smart enough to get involved with the game's development. Go get some of that sweet CD Projekt cloud, Mike, you deserve it. In contrast to the Witcher series, Cyberpunk 2077 is a mostly first-person role-playing game where you play as V, a mercenary and fully customizable character to your liking. The player character can specialize in one of 3 main classes: Solo, a combat-focused specialization; Netrunner, the class for all those who are fans of the movie Hackers, and Techie, who is focused on controlling machinery. The game will also feature an intricate perk tree for customization and further specialization of the player character. And in case you were wondering where all that Cyberpunk goodness takes place, wonder no more. Night City, the city of dreams for some, nightmares for others, probably your enemies. There will be 6 major regions to explore, plus an area outside the city called the Badlands. And of course the game will feature a branching storyline with meaning and impactful decisions to make. Come on, it's a CD Projekt game, what were you expecting? And oh, you work together with Keanu Reeves. Need I say more? I don't think so. Be ready for Cyberpunk 2077's release on September 17, coming to PC, Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And here comes the bonus I did promise you, Mafia Definitive Edition. Well, specifically as it seems complete remaster of the first Mafia game. For now they've only released a small trailer, definitely more than the previously released teaser footage, and the game definitely looks promising. Can't wait to step into the shoes of Tommy Angelo again and get pulled over by the police for speeding. The game is coming to PC on August 28 and to consoles as well.
What do they call you, son?
Thomas. Thomas Angelo, sir.
Congratulations, you made it till the end. Thanks so much for sticking around. This was a first for me, never done voiceover for a video, let alone trying to slap something together in an editing suite. Yet I hope it was somewhat enjoyable. And as always, a like would be super appreciated since it helps me assess how the video is doing. Oh, and also subscribe for more content in the near future. Or possibly, I'm trying. Addendum. Well, editing this took me longer than expected. It surely was a bumpy ride and mistakes were made left, right and center. I also realized that I might have to upgrade my CPU since my 4th gen i7 is showing its age when it comes to editing videos. And yes, Disintegration has probably already been released once this video goes live. It might not seem like it, but blood, sweat and tears were spent to make this video happen, so I left that part in. Think of this video more as a proof of concept, at least in regard to the first part. Anyway, thanks for watching again. Bye.